Chosen one. Have you ever felt like someone close to you sees you differently than others? Have you experienced moments where the people you care about most don't fully understand the person you've become? Perhaps, as the chosen one, you feel as though you've been walking a path that's uniquely yours, but the people around you don't seem to see it the same way. What if I told you that the person you love most has two friends who think you're very different in ways that might make you question your own self-worth, your purpose, or the journey you've been chosen to walk? It's a powerful question, isn't it? The reality that the ones closest to you may have vastly different perceptions of who you are and where you're headed. One friend might admire you, see the potential for greatness within you, and encourage you to move forward, while the other may be skeptical, questioning your every step and wondering if you're truly walking in the right direction. But the real question here is, how does this affect you, the chosen one? How do these contrasting perceptions shape your path, your destiny, and your relationship with those you hold dear? As a chosen one, you are called to a higher purpose, one that is often misunderstood by others. These misperceptions, though they may sting at times, are an integral part of your growth. The truth is, you are walking a path that is designed to elevate you to heights you may not even fully comprehend yet. But before you get there, you must first navigate the maze of perceptions that others have about you, and more importantly, you must understand how their judgments can either propel you forward or hold you back. In this script, we are diving deep into the realm of perception and its profound effect on the chosen one's journey. We'll explore the dynamic of two very different friends who have opposing views of you. These two individuals may not even fully realize it, but their perceptions hold the power to shape how you experience the world, how you view yourself, and how you move forward in your divine calling. The first friend sees you as a beacon of light, someone destined for greatness. They believe in you wholeheartedly, and their support fuels your strength. This person is the one who lifts you up when you feel weak, encourages you when you're uncertain, and reminds you of your worth when others try to tear you down. They recognize something in you that even you may not fully see, yet your divine purpose. On the other hand, the second friend views you through a lens of skepticism or fear. They may not understand your purpose, and perhaps they even feel threatened by the light you carry. This friend is the one who doubts your path, questions your decisions, and sometimes causes you to second-guess yourself. Their doubts may not come from a place of malice, but from their own insecurities or misunderstandings about who you truly are and the divine purpose that guides your every step. At first glance, these two friends couldn't be more different. One lifts you up, while the other pulls you down. But both play a crucial role in your journey. Their contrasting perceptions are not by accident. They are divinely orchestrated, each offering you a unique lesson about trust, resilience, faith, and the strength to rise above judgment. The first friend represents the supportive force that helps you stay grounded in your purpose, while the second friend presents a challenge, forcing you to confront your own insecurities and doubts. The question then becomes, how do you navigate the complex emotions that arise when those closest to you see you differently? How do you stay true to your calling when others are not on the same page? This is the essence of the chosen one's journey, a journey of understanding that perceptions do not define your worth or your purpose. As you continue on this path, you will be confronted with the opinions of others, both positive and negative. But remember, the perceptions of others are just that, perceptions. They do not dictate who you are or where you are going. You are divinely chosen, and your purpose is beyond the grasp of human judgment. As we delve into this narrative, it's important to establish a tone that is both reflective and mysterious. The truth is, the journey of the chosen one is rarely clear-cut. It is filled with moments of doubt, moments of confusion, and moments where the people around you may not understand the significance of what you're experiencing. But within these moments lies the potential for growth and transformation. The people who question you, challenge you, or doubt your path are not obstacles to your success, they are stepping stones. They are part of a greater plan, one that God has designed to help you grow, learn, and eventually step into the fullness of your purpose. The theme we will explore is one of inner strength and divine timing. The conflicting perceptions of these two friends are not meant to tear you apart. They are meant to sharpen you, refine you, and prepare you for what's ahead. You may feel torn at times, uncertain of which way to turn, but in these moments, remember that the power of the chosen one is not derived from the opinions of others, but from the divine calling within you. Your purpose is not dependent on whether others understand it. Your purpose is already unfolding, with or without their approval. This journey is one of self-discovery, of learning to trust in the voice of God over the voices of others. It is a call to reflect on the strength you already possess, and to rise above the judgments that come from those who do not yet see the fullness of who you are. As you embark on this exploration, allow yourself to reflect on how others' perceptions have shaped you, how they've challenged you, and how they've ultimately prepared you for the divine calling that awaits. As we move forward, consider the following. How has the perception of others affected your own journey? Have you allowed the doubts of others to hold you back? Or have you found the strength to rise above them? The path of the chosen one is never easy, but it is always worth it. The beauty of this journey lies in the transformation that happens within you. You are being refined, shaped, and prepared for a purpose far greater than you can imagine. The conflicting perceptions of these two friends are just one example of the spiritual challenges you will face along the way. But know this: you have been chosen for a reason. Your journey is not random or arbitrary, it is divinely orchestrated, and everything that happens is part of God's perfect timing. The lessons you learn, the obstacles you overcome, and the relationships that shape you all play a role in preparing you for the greater purpose that lies ahead. In the coming sections, we will explore how the chosen one can navigate these conflicting perceptions, how to stay grounded in your purpose despite opposition, and how to embrace the divine plan that is unfolding in your life. This journey may be difficult, but it is also one of the greatest gifts you will ever receive. As you step into your divine calling, remember that you are not alone. God is with you, guiding every step, and even when others don't understand, His plan for you is unwavering. This introduction sets the stage for the entire script, focusing on the journey of the chosen one and the role that the differing perceptions of others play in shaping their path. It establishes a reflective tone that encourages the audience to look inward and reflect on how perceptions, both positive and negative, affect their own journey. It's an invitation to trust in God's timing and to remain steadfast in the face of uncertainty and judgment. In every journey, there are those who walk beside us, offering their support, guidance, and sometimes their doubts. Among these companions, there are two very distinct types of friends: those who elevate us and those who challenge us. In the life of the chosen one, these friends can play a pivotal role, either pushing us toward our divine purpose or forcing us to confront the uncomfortable truth of how others perceive us. Let's meet these two friends, each representing different forces in the chosen one's journey. The first friend is the supportive one, the one who believes in you, even when you struggle to believe in yourself. They are the light during your darkest times, the voice of reason when you feel lost, and the unwavering presence that reminds you of your divine potential. This is the friend who sees you not just for who you are today, but for who you are destined to become. They are the ones who cheer you on, encouraging you to keep going when the weight of the world seems too heavy to bear. In this friend's eyes, you are greatness personified, a beacon of light meant to shine brightly in this world. The second friend, however, is different. They are the skeptical one. The one who may seem to support you in moments of need but questions your decisions, your choices, and even your worth. This is the friend who sees the chosen one's rise with a sense of discomfort, perhaps even jealousy. They may feel threatened by your light, unsure of their own place in a world that seems to be gravitating toward you. While the first friend sees you as someone destined for greatness, the second friend may view you as competition, someone who is taking away attention, success, or recognition that they believe should be theirs. Their doubts don't come from a place of hate, but from their own fear, confusion, or lack of understanding about your true purpose. They cannot see the divine hand that guides you, and instead, they view your journey with skepticism, unsure of where it will lead. The supportive friend is the one who sees your potential before you even recognize it in yourself. This is the person who has walked beside you through every season of life, from the lowest valleys to the highest peaks, and who believes in your calling even when it feels uncertain. They are the ones who remind you of your purpose when doubt clouds your mind, encouraging you to press forward even when the road ahead is unclear. This friend sees you through God's eyes, not just as you are today, but as you are meant to be. They don't see your flaws or weaknesses as obstacles. Rather, they see them as opportunities for growth and transformation. This is someone who celebrates every small victory, no matter how insignificant it may seem, because they understand the bigger picture. They know that every step you take, no matter how difficult, brings you closer to fulfilling your divine purpose. They offer words of encouragement and support, but more than that, they offer their unwavering belief in your potential. The supportive friend often has a deep understanding of the spiritual forces at work in your life. They recognize that the path of the chosen one is not easy, and that there will be times of struggle and uncertainty. But they also know that these struggles are part of the process. They encourage you to lean into God's guidance, to trust in His timing, and to remain faithful to the call on your life. They remind you that your worth is not defined by the opinions of others, but by the divine purpose that God has placed within you. In many ways, the supportive friend serves as a mirror, reflecting back to you the greatness that you may not yet see in yourself. They help you stay grounded in your purpose, always reminding you that you are meant for something greater than what the world may expect. With their support, you are empowered to continue walking your divine path with confidence, knowing that you are not alone. In contrast, the second friend, the skeptical or jealous one, may see your journey with a very different perspective. While they may outwardly appear supportive, their internal thoughts are clouded by doubt and insecurity. This is the friend who questions your decisions, your motivations, and sometimes even your very worth. They may not understand why you are pursuing the path you've chosen, and their inability to see the divine hand guiding you causes them to fear or resist your journey. The skeptical friend may not consciously wish harm upon you. In fact, they may genuinely care for you, but their own fears, insecurities, and doubts often get in the way of their ability to fully support you. They may question your decisions, wondering if you're making the right choices or if you're chasing an unrealistic dream. They may see the opportunities that come your way as a threat, unsure of how their own life fits into the picture of your success. In some cases, they may feel as though your rise to greatness somehow diminishes their own value or worth, leading to feelings of jealousy or competition. This friend may not always express their doubts directly. They may hide their true feelings behind words of concern or questions that seem innocent enough on the surface. But deep down, they harbor a sense of uncertainty or unease about your divine calling. They may even try to subtly discourage you, planting seeds of doubt in your mind. Are you sure this is the right path? Do you think you're really ready for this? Maybe you should slow down and think things through. These questions, though they may seem harmless, have the potential to sow confusion in the chosen one's heart. If the chosen one is not grounded in their faith and purpose, the doubts of this friend can cause them to second-guess their journey. The skeptical friend represents the force of resistance in your life, the one who challenges your vision and your belief in your divine calling. But this resistance is not meant to break you, it is meant to test you, to help you strengthen your resolve and grow in spiritual maturity. The two friends represent two vastly different perceptions of the chosen one's role in the world. The supportive friend sees the chosen one as someone destined for greatness, someone who is meant to shine brightly in the world and inspire others with their light. They view the chosen one's success as a reflection of divine purpose, something that is meant to bring glory to God and inspire others to step into their own divine calling. In their eyes, the chosen one is a beacon of hope and possibility, someone who is changing the world for the better. The skeptical friend, on the other hand, sees the chosen one's rise with suspicion. They may fear that the chosen one's success will overshadow their own, or they may feel insecure about their own place in the world. They see the chosen one's light not as something to be celebrated, but as something that makes them feel small or inadequate. Their perception of the chosen one is clouded by their own insecurities and fears, leading them to view the chosen one's path as a threat rather than a divine calling. This contrast in perception creates a tension between the two friends, one who uplifts and one who challenges. The chosen one may find themselves torn between the encouragement of the supportive friend and the doubts of the skeptical friend. On one hand, they are told they are destined for greatness, while on the other, they are reminded of the uncertainty and resistance that exists in the world. The chosen one must learn to navigate this tension, understanding that both perspectives serve a purpose in their journey. The supportive friend helps to keep them grounded in their purpose, while the skeptical friend helps them grow in discernment and resilience. The differing perceptions of these two friends have a subtle but profound effect on the chosen one's relationships. The supportive friend creates an atmosphere of encouragement and faith, allowing the chosen one to feel empowered and confident in their journey. Their belief in the chosen one's purpose strengthens their resolve, helping them to remain focused on their divine calling. In moments of doubt or uncertainty, the supportive friend's words become a source of comfort and reassurance, reminding the chosen one of the divine plan at work in their life. But the skeptical friend's influence is more complicated. While they may not outwardly oppose the chosen one's journey, their doubts and questions create a sense of tension and emotional conflict. The chosen one may begin to question themselves, wondering if they are on the right path or if they are being too ambitious. The skeptical friend's resistance can cause the chosen one to feel misunderstood, isolated, or even guilty for pursuing their divine calling. This can lead to feelings of emotional conflict, as the chosen one tries to reconcile their own sense of purpose with the doubts of those they care about. This tension can strain the relationship, leading to moments of frustration, hurt, or confusion. The chosen one may begin to feel torn between the two friends, unsure of whose voice to listen to. The support of the first friend may feel insufficient in the face of the skepticism of the second, leaving the chosen one feeling torn between the two perspectives. This emotional conflict can create a sense of uncertainty, making the chosen one question their worth and their place in the world. However, this is part of the divine process. The chosen one is being refined through these relationships, learning to trust in their own inner guidance and in God's plan. The skepticism of the second friend serves as a challenge, one that forces the chosen one to grow in faith and strength. The supportive friend, on the other hand, provides the encouragement needed to stay grounded in their purpose. Together, these two friends create a balance, helping the chosen one to navigate the complexities of relationships and spiritual growth. In the end, both friends serve as instruments of divine guidance, each playing their part in the chosen one's journey toward fulfillment. The chosen one must learn to embrace both perspectives, understanding that the support of the first friend strengthens their resolve, while the resistance of the second friend refines their character. Both are necessary for the chosen one to fully step into their divine calling, embracing both the light and the challenges that come with it. As the chosen one embarks on their divine journey, they are surrounded by the perceptions and opinions of those closest to them. The weight of these opinions can be heavier than one might expect, affecting not only their emotional well-being but also their spiritual growth. Our emotions are intricately tied to how we perceive the world and how the world perceives us. When others close to us express their opinions, whether in support or skepticism, these perceptions shape the way we see ourselves and, in turn, influence our choices, confidence, and sense of purpose. The two friends in the previous section, one supportive and the other skeptical, each bring a different energy to the table. The supportive friend's positive reinforcement can lift the chosen one, creating a sense of emotional stability, while the skeptical friend's doubts can leave them questioning their journey and spiritual direction. At first glance, these reactions may seem to be in direct conflict with each other. But in reality, both serve a divine purpose in shaping the chosen one's growth. The supportive friend, with their unwavering belief in the chosen one's divine purpose, brings forth a source of emotional strength. When this friend speaks, they speak words of encouragement, admiration, and trust in the chosen one's abilities. These words become a powerful tool, reinforcing the chosen one's sense of self-worth. The supportive friend reminds the chosen one that they are divinely chosen for something far greater than they can currently see, and they provide the emotional fuel needed to continue pushing forward. Positive reinforcement works on a deep, subconscious level. When we hear words of encouragement from someone who believes in us, we internalize them. These affirmations become part of our emotional foundation. The chosen one, hearing such words, begins to trust themselves more, knowing that they are seen for who they truly are and what they are meant to become. It's as if the universe aligns with their purpose, confirming that their journey is valid and worthy. But this reinforcement is not just about receiving praise or validation. It's about receiving encouragement that anchors the chosen one to their divine calling. When life's challenges arise, when obstacles threaten to derail their path, the support of this friend acts as a lifeline, reminding them that they are not alone. These words of support bolster the chosen one's faith, allowing them to move forward with confidence, even in the face of adversity. The positive reinforcement the supportive friend offers does more than just build emotional resilience. It reinforces the chosen one's trust in the divine timing and plan at play in their life. In contrast, the skeptical friend's influence brings a different emotional dynamic. The doubts and insecurities they introduce can cause a deep emotional ripple in the chosen one's heart. At first, these doubts may seem insignificant, a passing comment here, a question there. But over time, the impact of this skepticism can erode the chosen one's self-confidence. The skeptical friend's inability to fully support or believe in the chosen one's journey casts a shadow over their sense of worth, forcing them to question if they are truly on the right path. The power of doubt lies not in the words themselves, but in the emotional weight they carry. A single questioning remark from the skeptical friend can stir feelings of inadequacy, insecurity, and fear. Are you sure this is what you're supposed to be doing? What if you're wrong? These questions, though spoken casually, can shake the foundation of the chosen one's belief in themselves. When those closest to us express doubt, it's natural to wonder if they see something we don't, if they know something we haven't yet realized. This leads the chosen one to experience moments of emotional turmoil as they wrestle with the conflict between the encouragement of the supportive friend and the skepticism of the other. In these moments, the chosen one may begin to question the very core of their divine calling. They may wonder if they've made the right decisions, or if they are truly worthy of the purpose they've been given. Insecurity creeps in, and the chosen one may feel as though they are walking alone, without the solid support they need to navigate their journey. The emotional impact of the skeptical friend's doubts is more subtle but equally powerful. Over time, it chips away at the chosen one's sense of confidence, forcing them to confront their fears and doubts head-on. While the supportive friend's words lift the chosen one up, the skeptical friend's words create a shadow that lingers, making the journey seem harder and more uncertain. The emotional toll of this skepticism is felt deeply, as the chosen one struggles to reconcile the love and support they receive with the doubts and fears planted by the skeptical friend. As the chosen one walks their path, they face the inevitable challenge of reconciling these differing perceptions. On one hand, they are buoyed by the positive reinforcement of the supportive friend, whose belief in them makes them feel empowered. On the other, they are weighed down by the doubts of the skeptical friend, whose questions make them second-guess their every step. This contrast can create a profound inner conflict. The chosen one is torn between two very different energies, one that lifts them up and one that holds them back. The emotional struggle that comes with reconciling these perceptions can feel overwhelming. How does one stay true to their divine purpose when those they care about most cannot see the path as clearly? How does the chosen one find clarity in the midst of emotional turbulence? In these moments of confusion, the chosen one may begin to question if they are on the right path. They may feel torn between the encouragement of the supportive friend and the skepticism of the other. This inner conflict can lead to periods of doubt where the chosen one feels uncertain of their own strength, unsure of who to listen to or what direction to take next. But this struggle is not a sign of weakness, it is part of the divine process. The chosen one must learn to navigate this tension, learning to trust not only in the voices of others, but in their own inner guidance. This is a critical lesson in spiritual maturity. The journey of the chosen one is not one of blind faith, but one of discernment, learning to sift through the noise and trust in the wisdom that lies within. To reconcile these different perceptions, the chosen one must first learn to discern their own truth. This requires them to look beyond the words of others and tune into the still, small voice within. It requires them to trust that God's plan for them is greater than the opinions of any individual. As they learn to hear this inner voice, they begin to find the clarity and confidence needed to move forward, regardless of the differing opinions of those around them. The differing perceptions of the supportive and skeptical friends are not just random, they serve as divine lessons. These contrasting views are part of the spiritual refining process, meant to teach the chosen one essential lessons in patience, understanding, and self-discovery. One of the first lessons the chosen one learns through these conflicting perceptions is patience. When the supportive friend uplifts them, they feel energized and motivated, ready to take on the world. But when the skeptical friend casts doubt, they must learn to sit with the discomfort of uncertainty. The chosen one is forced to cultivate patience, learning that not every challenge needs to be overcome immediately. Some challenges require waiting, listening, and trusting that everything will unfold in divine timing. Patience is not about passivity, it's about allowing the journey to unfold naturally, without forcing outcomes. The chosen one learns that they don't have to rush through life's challenges or seek immediate validation. They are learning to trust the process, knowing that each moment of doubt, each moment of uncertainty, is a necessary part of their spiritual growth. The contrast between the supportive friend's encouragement and the skeptical friend's doubt teaches them to find balance in the waiting, to remain patient even when things don't look as they expected. The second lesson is understanding. The chosen one learns that both the supportive friend and the skeptical friend are part of the divine plan, each playing their unique role. The supportive friend teaches them the power of belief, while the skeptical friend teaches them the power of resilience. The chosen one must learn to see both perspectives with compassion, understanding that each person's view is shaped by their own experiences, fears, and hopes. Understanding is key in navigating these relationships. The chosen one learns to listen with an open heart, understanding that not everyone will see things from the same perspective. They begin to see the value in both encouragement and doubt, realizing that each serves a purpose in their growth. The supportive friend helps them stay grounded in their divine purpose, while the skeptical friend challenges them to deepen their faith and trust. Finally, the differing perceptions serve as a powerful tool for self-discovery. As the chosen one navigates these relationships, they are forced to confront their own beliefs, insecurities, and doubts. The supportive friend's words affirm their sense of self-worth, while the skeptical friend's doubts push them to examine their faith and resolve. Through this process, the chosen one begins to uncover deeper layers of their own identity and purpose. Self-discovery is a journey that requires introspection and courage. The chosen one must ask themselves, who am I really? What is my purpose? What is the truth that lies at the core of my being? Through the tension between the two friends, they are forced to dig deep, uncovering the strength and wisdom they need to walk confidently in their divine calling. As the chosen one moves through this process, they are building spiritual resilience and discernment. The differing opinions of the two friends, are not obstacles, they are tools for spiritual growth. The supportive friend strengthens their emotional resolve, while the skeptical friend refines their inner discernment. Through this tension, the chosen one learns to trust their own voice, to hear the whispers of divine guidance above the noise of doubt and fear. Spiritual resilience is built through adversity. The chosen one learns that not every challenge is meant to break them, it is meant to strengthen them. As they face the skepticism of others, they learn to stand firm in their beliefs, to remain anchored in their divine purpose, and to trust that God's plan is unfolding perfectly, even when it doesn't make sense. This resilience is what will carry them through the challenges to come, preparing them for the greater purpose they are destined to fulfill. Discernment is equally crucial. As the chosen one learns to navigate the differing perceptions of their friends, they also learn to discern the truth of their own heart. They begin to understand that their journey is not dependent on the opinions of others, but on the divine guidance that flows within them. They must learn to trust the process, to trust that God is leading them, and to know when to stand firm, and when to release those who do not align with their purpose. These lessons of patience, understanding, self-discovery, resilience, and discernment are the building blocks of the chosen one's spiritual journey. And through each of them, the chosen one moves closer to fulfilling their divine purpose. The journey of the chosen one is never linear. It is often fraught with obstacles, internal struggles, and moments of intense misunderstanding. Those closest to the chosen one, family, friends, and even mentors may, at times, fail to understand the depth of the divine purpose at work within them. It is a reality that every chosen one must confront: the misunderstanding of their path by others, even those who love them the most. From the outside, the path of the chosen one can seem strange, unpredictable, and even reckless. To an observer who does not have the same spiritual awareness or understanding, the chosen one's decisions and actions may appear confusing, illogical, or out of place. The chosen one may be called to walk a path that defies conventional wisdom, one that requires them to take risks, sacrifice comforts, and embrace challenges that others would avoid. To those who do not see through the lens of divine purpose, these choices may seem misguided or reckless. But here lies the divine truth. Just because others misunderstand the path does not mean it is not the right one. In fact, misunderstanding is often an integral part of the journey for the chosen one. God, in His infinite wisdom, allows these moments of confusion and misperception to test the chosen one's faith, character, and resolve. Misunderstandings, doubts, and even opposition from others serve as a refining fire, shaping the chosen one's heart and mind, and helping them grow in ways that would not be possible if the path were smooth and free from challenges. The chosen one is called to be different, to walk a path that may seem unusual to others, but this is precisely what makes their journey sacred. It is through this misunderstanding that they learn to trust in God's guidance above all else, to lean into His wisdom rather than the opinions of others. The challenge of being misunderstood is a spiritual test in itself, one that requires the chosen one to stand firm in their faith and belief, even when it feels like the world does not understand them. God uses these misunderstandings to shape the character of the chosen one. Each moment of doubt, each questioning glance, each word of concern or criticism from others serves as a tool for spiritual growth. The chosen one must learn not to rely on the approval of others for their sense of worth or direction. Instead, they are called to rely solely on the strength and wisdom of God, knowing that His plan is perfect and unshakable. Through this testing, the chosen one is refined. Just as gold is purified in the fire, so too is the chosen one's spirit, purified through the misunderstandings and challenges that arise along their journey. It is in these moments of spiritual testing that the chosen one's true character is revealed and strengthened. They are being shaped into the vessel that will carry out their divine purpose with grace, resilience, and unwavering faith. It is important to remember that the divine purpose of the chosen one may often be misunderstood by others, but that does not diminish its truth. The journey of the chosen one is not meant to fit into societal norms or expectations. It is not meant to be easy or widely accepted. The divine purpose that God has placed in the heart of the chosen one is unique to them. It is a path designed for their soul's growth, for their spiritual maturity, and for the fulfillment of a greater purpose. Throughout history, many of the world's greatest visionaries, leaders, and spiritual guides were misunderstood. They were often ridiculed, rejected, or persecuted for their beliefs, their actions, and their commitment to a divine calling that others could not see. But their truth remained unchanged. Whether it was the prophets of old, the saints who sacrificed everything for the love of God, or the modern-day changemakers who dared to step into their purpose, their divine purpose was always true, regardless of how it was perceived by the world around them. The same is true for the chosen one. The divine purpose within them is a flame that burns brightly, even if it is obscured by doubt, confusion, or opposition. The misunderstanding of others does not make that purpose any less powerful or real. It is simply part of the process of spiritual testing, growth, and transformation. God's plan is not always clear to everyone, and it is certainly not always clear to the chosen one at first. But over time, as the chosen one continues to walk in faith, they begin to see the pieces of the puzzle fall into place. The divine plan starts to make sense, even if others are still unable to understand it. The truth of their calling becomes more evident with each step they take, and with each challenge they overcome. It is in these moments of confusion and opposition that the chosen one must cling to their faith in God's plan. The world may not understand the path they are walking, but God does. And that is all that matters. The chosen one is not walking for the approval of others, but for the fulfillment of their divine purpose. This purpose is unshakable, eternal, and greater than any misunderstanding or opposition they may face along the way. As the chosen one embraces their divine purpose, they learn to trust in God's wisdom and timing. They begin to understand that the misunderstandings they face are not obstacles, but opportunities for growth. Through these experiences, they develop the strength to stand firm in their calling, knowing that they are walking the path God has laid out for them, even when others cannot see it. The misunderstandings, doubts, and criticisms that the chosen one faces are not random, they are part of God's divine plan. These challenges serve a greater purpose, helping the chosen one grow in faith, maturity, and spiritual strength. It is through these experiences that the chosen one learns to rely on God more fully, to trust in His timing, and to recognize His hand at work in their life. God's plan for the chosen one is not meant to be easy or comfortable. In fact, it is often through discomfort and difficulty that the chosen one is transformed. The road to fulfilling a divine purpose is rarely smooth. It is filled with obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But these moments are not meant to break the chosen one. They are meant to refine them. Through spiritual testing, the chosen one learns the value of patience and perseverance. They learn that success and fulfillment do not come overnight. They come through hard work, faith, and a willingness to trust in God's timing. The challenges they face along the way serve as tools for spiritual growth, helping them develop the strength to handle the weight of their divine calling. As the chosen one moves through these challenges, they grow in wisdom and understanding. They begin to recognize that the road to their purpose is not a straight line, but a winding path filled with detours, obstacles, and moments of confusion. But with each step, they gain a deeper understanding of God's plan and a greater sense of peace in their heart. God's plan is always unfolding, and the chosen one must learn to walk in trust, knowing that each challenge is leading them closer to their divine destiny. The testing they experience is not meant to hinder them, but to help them grow in character and strength. Through these challenges, they are being shaped into the person they were always meant to become. The divine purpose is greater than any misunderstanding or opposition. It is the truth that God has placed within the chosen one's heart, and it cannot be shaken by the opinions or doubts of others. As the chosen one grows in faith and maturity, they begin to see the greater picture, understanding that every obstacle they face is part of a divine design that is leading them to their purpose. The challenges the Chosen One faces are not meant to break them, they are meant to strengthen them. Every misunderstanding, every moment of doubt, and every obstacle they encounter along their journey serves to shape their character and prepare them for the mission they were divinely called to fulfill. God uses these experiences to build the spiritual resilience that the Chosen One will need to carry out their mission. They are being refined, just as gold is refined in the fire. Through the heat of spiritual testing, they are being purified, becoming stronger, more focused, and more committed to their divine purpose. These challenges help the Chosen One develop the strength to face even greater obstacles in the future, knowing that they have already overcome so much with God's help. As the Chosen One moves forward, they begin to see the fruits of their spiritual growth. Their confidence in God's plan deepens, and they gain a clearer understanding of their role in the world. The divine purpose that once seemed unclear or misunderstood begins to come into sharper focus, and the Chosen One is empowered to fulfill it with greater clarity and conviction. The spiritual resilience developed through these challenges also helps the Chosen One deal with the inevitable moments of doubt and uncertainty that arise along the way. When the road gets tough, when the opposition feels overwhelming, the Chosen One can draw upon the strength and wisdom gained through their past experiences. They know that they have faced challenges before and emerged stronger, and they will do so again. Through this process of growth and spiritual refinement, the Chosen One becomes equipped to fulfill their divine mission. They are no longer swayed by the opinions or doubts of others, but are firmly rooted in their faith and purpose. With each step, they are moving closer to fulfilling the greater calling on their life. The journey of the Chosen One is inevitably shaped by judgment, both from those who walk beside them and those who stand outside their path. It's an uncomfortable truth that many of the greatest spiritual leaders and visionaries throughout history have faced harsh criticism and skepticism from those closest to them. The same holds true for the Chosen One. No matter how pure the purpose or divine the calling, there will always be voices of dissent, whether voiced directly or felt in the subtle glances and whispered opinions of others. Judgment often feels like a weight, a burden that drags the Chosen One down, making each step more difficult to take. These judgments can be loud, sometimes voiced outright by those who doubt or oppose the Chosen One's path. Other times, judgment is more silent, an unseen force that erodes confidence with each questioning glance or disapproving gesture. For the Chosen One, learning to navigate this sea of judgment is not just a practical matter, it is a spiritual transformation. It is the act of rising above the opinions of others and finding solid ground in the approval of God alone. When the Chosen One begins their journey, they may be overwhelmed by the judgment of others. It is natural for humans to seek validation from those they love and trust. When these people don't fully understand or support their path, it can create feelings of insecurity, self-doubt, and even loneliness. In these moments, it's easy for the Chosen One to fall into the trap of trying to prove their worth to others, to seek the approval and acceptance they crave. But true spiritual growth happens when the Chosen One begins to see judgment not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity. Judgment, in its many forms, can become a refining tool, sharpening the Chosen One's clarity of purpose and increasing their spiritual resilience. Instead of viewing judgment as a negative force, they can learn to embrace it as part of their divine training. Through judgment, the Chosen One has the chance to rise above the opinions of the world, to transcend the limitations of human approval, and to anchor themselves firmly in the truth of their divine calling. The first step in transforming the perspective on judgment is to recognize that it is inevitable. As long as the Chosen One walks a path that challenges the status quo or calls others to grow spiritually, there will be judgment. And that judgment will often come from those who are not yet ready to walk that same path. However, judgment is not a reflection of the Chosen One's worth or value. It is simply a reflection of others' limitations, fears, or misunderstandings. The challenge for the Chosen One is to stop allowing the judgment of others to dictate their worth. When the chosen one shifts their focus from seeking validation to seeking divine purpose, the weight of judgment begins to dissipate. The goal is no longer to appease others or win their approval, but to walk in the truth of who they are and the purpose they have been given. This is a powerful transformation, a shift from being reactive to judgment to becoming proactive in embracing the divine calling, regardless of external opinions. The chosen one learns that they do not need to justify their path to anyone but God. The approval of others is fleeting, but the approval of God is eternal. And God's approval is not based on human standards, it is based on faithfulness, obedience, and alignment with His divine will. This shift in perspective allows the chosen one to rise above the noise of judgment, focusing instead on the only voice that truly matters: the still, small voice of God. For the chosen one, moving from seeing judgment as a burden to viewing it as an opportunity for growth is not an easy transition. It requires a deep shift in mindset, one that requires the chosen one to embrace their divine calling with unwavering confidence, no matter the opinions of others. The path to this transformation begins with the understanding that judgment is often the byproduct of spiritual immaturity or ignorance. Those who judge do so from their own limited understanding of divine purpose and God's plan. When the chosen one begins to see judgment in this light, they stop taking it personally. It becomes easier to understand that judgment is not a reflection of their own inadequacies, but a reflection of the limitations of others' spiritual vision. Those who criticize or question the chosen one's path are often projecting their own fears, doubts, and insecurities onto the situation. The chosen one must learn to separate themselves from this external energy, understanding that it does not define who they are or what they are called to do. Once the chosen one adopts this mindset, judgment begins to lose its power. Rather than shrinking from judgment or attempting to defend themselves against it, they can use it as an opportunity to grow in spiritual maturity. Each instance of judgment becomes a chance to practice patience, humility, and discernment. When someone doubts the chosen one's purpose, instead of reacting defensively, the chosen one can respond with compassion and understanding, knowing that the person is simply struggling with their own limitations. This shift in perspective also allows the chosen one to develop a deeper sense of resilience. Spiritual resilience is the ability to remain steadfast in the face of external challenges, knowing that the divine plan is unfolding according to God's will. The chosen one learns that judgment is temporary. It may sting in the moment, but it will pass. The chosen one's task is to continue walking in faith, trusting that God is working in and through them, regardless of how others perceive them. When judgment becomes an opportunity for growth, the chosen one can begin to see each challenge as a stepping stone towards spiritual maturity. Instead of feeling defeated by the criticisms and doubts of others, the chosen one learns to use these experiences as tools for refining their faith, sharpening their focus, and strengthening their resolve. They begin to understand that judgment, in its many forms, is part of the divine process, a necessary step in their growth and transformation. One of the most profound shifts in the chosen one's journey is the ability to focus on God's approval rather than seeking validation from others. This is a crucial turning point, a moment when the chosen one realizes that their value is not determined by human opinions, but by their relationship with God. When the chosen one truly grasps this truth, it becomes the foundation of their spiritual resilience. The desire for validation is natural. It's part of being human. We all want to be seen, appreciated, and recognized for the unique gifts we bring to the world. But for the chosen one, the pursuit of validation from others can become a distraction from their divine purpose. It can lead to constant striving, a never-ending search for approval, and a fear of rejection. When the chosen one seeks validation from others, they put their emotional well-being in the hands of people who may not understand their divine calling, may not share their vision, or may not even be spiritually mature enough to offer the kind of support they truly need. The transformation comes when the chosen one shifts their focus. They begin to look inward and upward, seeking validation and approval from God alone. God's approval is not based on appearance, success, or public opinion. It is based on faithfulness, obedience, and alignment with His divine will. The chosen one must learn that their worth is not measured by how many people praise them or follow them, but by how closely they are walking in God's purpose for their life. The key to this shift is trust. The chosen one must trust that God sees them in their entirety, with all their flaws, strengths, and potential, and that God's approval is unwavering and constant. It is not something that can be earned or lost based on human performance. It is a gift that comes from simply being aligned with God's will. When the chosen one focuses on God's approval, they no longer need to prove themselves to others. They no longer need to seek external validation to feel worthy. Their sense of purpose becomes rooted in the understanding that they are loved and valued by God, regardless of how the world perceives them. This frees them from the shackles of comparison, competition, and the constant need to please others. It allows them to walk confidently in their divine purpose, knowing that they are exactly where they are meant to be, doing exactly what they are meant to do. Building spiritual resilience is at the heart of the chosen one's journey. Resilience is not just the ability to bounce back from adversity. It is the strength to stay grounded and focused on the divine calling, no matter what external challenges arise. Resilience is what allows the chosen one to continue walking in their purpose, even when the road is uncertain, when others doubt them, and when the weight of judgment seems overwhelming. Resilience is built on divine confidence. Divine confidence is different from self-confidence. It is confidence that comes from knowing that God is with you, that His plan for your life is perfect, and that no matter what happens, He will provide everything you need to fulfill your purpose. This confidence is unshakable because it is based on the truth of God's promises, not on external circumstances or opinions. To build this resilience, the chosen one must learn to trust in God's timing. Divine timing is perfect, even when it doesn't make sense. It requires patience and the ability to wait on God's direction, even when the chosen one feels the pressure to act. In moments of doubt, the chosen one must remember that God is never late, He is always on time. The delays and detours that come along the journey are not setbacks, they are part of the divine process of preparation. The chosen one must trust that God is using each moment to refine them, strengthen their character, and equip them for the greater purpose that lies ahead. This resilience also requires a willingness to embrace uncertainty. The path of the chosen one is rarely clear and straight. There will be moments when the way forward seems obscure, when the outcome feels uncertain, and when the world seems to be moving at a pace that feels beyond the chosen one's control. But resilience is about continuing to walk forward with trust, even when the path is unclear. It is about knowing that God is leading you, even when you cannot see the next step. With divine confidence, trust in God's timing, and a resilient spirit, the chosen one learns to walk in their purpose without being swayed by external judgment or the doubts of others. They become unshakable in their mission, knowing that God is always with them, guiding them, and providing for them. In this strength, they continue to rise above the judgments, the doubts, and the obstacles, moving forward with clarity, courage, and a deep sense of divine purpose. The path of the chosen one is rarely an easy one. It is not paved with certainty or designed to fit the expectations of others. In fact, being chosen often means stepping onto a path that no one fully understands, not even those who are closest to you. There will be moments when you will walk alone, misunderstood, and perhaps even ridiculed. Yet, it is through these very moments that your spiritual growth is nurtured. When you are chosen, you are called to a divine purpose that transcends human comprehension. Your purpose is not for validation, applause, or the approval of the world. It is a purpose designed by God, meant to bring light to places that have never seen the brilliance of divine love and truth. Being chosen means you are meant to challenge the status quo, to disrupt the comfortable, and to inspire change where it is needed most. The path ahead is not always clear, and it is certainly not always comfortable, but it is precisely in this uncertainty that your faith and spiritual resilience are built. God, in his infinite wisdom, often calls the chosen ones to walk paths that others cannot fathom. These paths may seem strange, risky, or even senseless to those who cannot see the bigger picture. But you, the chosen one, are called to walk in the faith that goes beyond human understanding. You are called to trust in divine timing, even when the world around you may be urging you to take a different route. In these moments of misunderstanding, it's important to remember that this is not a sign of failure, it is a sign of divine purpose. The misunderstandings you face are part of the process of spiritual growth. They are the catalysts that will force you to dig deeper into your faith, to strengthen your trust in God, and to find your purpose even when others cannot see it. The chosen one is often misunderstood because they are called to do things that others are not ready to understand or support. But this misunderstanding is not an obstacle. It is part of the divine training that prepares you for the next phase of your journey. It is in the moments of being misunderstood that your faith is refined, your resolve is solidified, and your character is tested. These moments are not there to break you, they are there to build you. Embrace the discomfort that comes with being chosen, because it is in this discomfort that your spiritual strength grows. Your journey is not about fitting into the mold others have set for you, it is about embracing the path that God has laid before you, even when it is lonely, confusing, or misunderstood. You are designed for a higher purpose, one that only you can fulfill. Your path is unique, and the gifts and talents you possess are meant to serve a greater vision than what the world can see. Being chosen means that you have a divine responsibility to bring forth a vision that transcends your personal ambitions and aligns with God's will. This higher purpose often requires you to go against the grain, to think and act differently from the norm. The road of the chosen one is not meant to be paved with acceptance or popular opinion. In fact, it is often the road less traveled, the one that requires you to step out of your comfort zone and embrace the unknown. The world may not always understand your path, and that's okay. It's not your role to make others see what God has shown you. It is your role to trust that the divine purpose within you is enough, and that God's plan will unfold in His perfect timing. Being chosen for a higher purpose means that you have been set apart. The path you walk is not ordinary, it is sacred, and it is designed to bring about transformation, healing, and illumination to those who need it most. It is a path that requires courage, wisdom, and most importantly, trust in God. You were chosen because God knew you were capable of handling the challenges, the misunderstandings, and the resistance that would come your way. But He also knew that you were destined for greatness, and that through your perseverance, the world would be changed. As the chosen one, you are called to a purpose greater than yourself. You are called to be a light in a world that often feels dark, a source of truth in a time of confusion. Your purpose is not about your personal gain or fame. It is about aligning yourself with God's will and fulfilling the divine plan He has set before you. The world may not understand this purpose, but that does not diminish its importance or its truth. In fact, the fact that others may not understand it is a sign that you are walking the path of the chosen one. You are walking the path that is meant to change lives, to bring healing, and to usher in divine transformation. So, embrace the fact that your path is misunderstood. It is not a reflection of your failure, it is a reflection of the uniqueness of your calling. God has chosen you because He believes you are the one who can fulfill this mission. He knows the struggles you will face, and He has equipped you with everything you need to succeed. Embrace this divine purpose, even when it is difficult, because it is through embracing it fully that you will experience true spiritual growth and fulfillment. As you continue to walk in your divine calling, it's important to reflect on your relationships and the role that others' opinions play in your life. The opinions of others, whether supportive or skeptical, will always be present. However, it is how you respond to these opinions that will determine how well you fulfill your purpose. Take a moment to reflect on the relationships in your life. How have the perceptions of others influenced your journey so far? Are you allowing the opinions of those around you to define your path, or are you standing firm in your belief that God has called you to something greater? It's natural to seek approval from others, But the truth is, when you are walking a divine path, the approval you seek must come from God alone. Think about the relationships where you've felt misunderstood, where others have questioned your purpose or doubted your choices. How have those moments shaped your journey? Have you allowed them to hinder you, or have you used them as opportunities to grow in faith and strength? It's important to remember that the divine path is not always understood by others. Often, it's misunderstood because it calls for a higher vision, a higher purpose, one that requires stepping out of the comfort zone and embracing the unknown. The challenge for the chosen one is to continue walking in their divine purpose, even when others don't understand. This may mean standing firm in your decisions, even when those closest to you question them. It may mean stepping away from relationships that no longer serve your divine purpose, even when it's painful. But the reward for embracing your divine calling will be far greater than the temporary discomfort of being misunderstood. Reflect on how you can rise above negative perceptions in your life. How can you embrace your divine calling, even when others may not understand? How can you trust in God's plan for you, knowing that He sees the bigger picture, even when it feels like others are questioning your every move? The answers to these questions will guide you as you continue to walk in your divine purpose with courage and confidence. As we close, I want to remind you of your divine worth and the strength that comes from trusting in God's guidance. You are chosen. You are destined for greatness. No matter what others may say, no matter how many misunderstandings you face, you are walking the path that God has laid before you, and that path is the path to transformation, healing, and fulfillment. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for the divine calling you have placed upon our lives. We trust that your plan is greater than anything we can see with our human eyes. Thank you for the strength and resilience you've given us to walk the path that you have set before us. Even when we face misunderstanding or judgment, help us to remain firm in our trust in you. May we seek your approval above all else, knowing that you have equipped us for the journey ahead. Guide us, strengthen us, and help us to embrace our divine purpose with confidence and grace. We know that we are chosen, and we will walk in your light, trusting that you are with us every step of the way. Amen. To be chosen is to be set apart. It's to be called by the divine, to walk a path that few understand, even fewer will support, but one that is uniquely designed for you. The chosen one's journey is a sacred path, marked by moments of doubt, confusion, and misunderstanding. It is a path that may appear uncertain to others, and at times, even to the chosen one themselves. The misunderstanding that accompanies the chosen one's path is not a sign of failure or inadequacy, but rather an integral part of the divine design. These moments of misperception exist to teach the chosen one faith, resilience, and trust in a purpose that is far greater than human understanding. When others fail to see the path you are walking, when they question your decisions or your divine purpose, know that this is part of the spiritual growth process. The world may not always understand your path, but that is precisely because it is not a path of the ordinary. It is a path that is meant to lead you to greatness. It is a path that requires you to grow in ways that others may not be able to comprehend. These moments of doubt, both from within and from those around you, are stepping stones to your divine destiny. They serve to refine your faith and solidify your trust in God's plan. Being chosen often means embracing discomfort, facing challenges that others don't have to endure. But through these challenges, you are being shaped and prepared for a future that is beyond the ordinary, one that will bring light and change to the world. The misunderstandings you face are not burdens, they are blessings in disguise, moments of transformation that propel you forward, deeper into your divine calling. They are the tools that mold your spirit, strengthen your character, and deepen your understanding of the purpose God has placed within you. As you continue on this path, remember, the world's approval is not required for your divine purpose. The path you walk is one that only you can walk, and it will look different to others. But this difference is not something to fear, it is something to embrace. The unique challenges you face are the very things that will shape you into the person God has called you to be. Trust that every step you take, no matter how misunderstood or difficult, is part of the divine plan designed specifically for you. Even when surrounded by doubt, judgment, and criticism, you must hold on to one truth. God's plan for you is greater than any earthly perception. There will be times when the voices of those around you will cloud your vision, when the noise of judgment and misunderstanding will drown out the quiet whisper of your divine calling. In these moments, it is vital to remember that you are not lost. You are not on a path that has gone astray. You are being prepared for something greater. Trusting in God's plan means knowing that every part of your journey, every difficult relationship, every misunderstood moment, is working toward fulfilling your divine purpose. The struggles you face are not accidents or signs of misdirection. They are the lessons, the growth, and the experiences that are necessary for you to fulfill the mission God has entrusted to you. You may not always understand why things are happening the way they are, but remember that God sees the bigger picture. He is orchestrating your life in ways you cannot yet comprehend, and every challenge you face is part of that larger, divine design. You are on a journey that requires patience and trust. It is easy to be swayed by the opinions of others, especially when those opinions are grounded in fear, misunderstanding, or their own lack of spiritual insight. But the opinions of others do not define your journey. The world's view of your purpose does not determine its validity. What matters is the truth that is embedded within you, the truth that God has called you for a higher purpose, and that purpose will be fulfilled, no matter how much resistance or doubt surrounds you. In the midst of doubt, cling to this truth. You are not alone. God is with you at every step, guiding you, strengthening you, and preparing you for the destiny He has planned for you. The road might be unclear at times, and others may question your decisions, but your trust in God's timing will keep you on track. Your path may not always align with the expectations of others, but it is precisely this divergence that will lead you to greatness. Trust in His plan, and know that His purpose for you is eternal and unshakable. As you continue to walk this path, it's important to recognize that this journey is not just about surviving the judgments and criticisms of others, it is about thriving in them. God's chosen ones are equipped with everything they need to succeed, even in the face of the harshest challenges. You have been given the strength to face obstacles that others may not be able to bear. You are capable of withstanding criticism, misunderstanding, and doubt. Emerging from these trials, stronger, wiser, and more focused on your purpose. In moments of adversity, remember that God has equipped you with divine strength. You were chosen because God knew you had the capacity to rise above the challenges you would face. Your purpose is greater than any obstacle, and you have been empowered by the Holy Spirit to overcome anything that comes your way. Just as gold is refined in fire, so too are you refined through the challenges you face. These challenges are not meant to break you. They are meant to make you stronger, more resilient, and more grounded in your divine purpose. You are not alone in this journey. Though the road may be difficult, God is always by your side, guiding you, providing for you, and strengthening you for the task ahead. Each step you take, no matter how uncertain or difficult it may seem, is part of God's perfect plan. You have been chosen because you are equipped to fulfill the divine mission that has been entrusted to you. Embrace your divine confidence, knowing that you have the strength to walk through fire and emerge unscathed, because God is with you every step of the way. It is important to understand that thriving in judgment does not mean avoiding conflict or staying silent in the face of criticism. It means standing firm in your divine calling, trusting that God will vindicate you, and walking in your purpose with boldness and courage. The judgment you face is an opportunity to strengthen your spiritual resilience. When you rise above the opinions of others, you show the world the power of divine strength. You show them that nothing, no judgment, no misunderstanding, no criticism can shake your foundation, because it is built on the solid rock of God's truth. Now is the time for you to reflect on the relationships in your life. and the role that others' opinions have played in your journey. How have the perceptions of others shaped the decisions you've made? Have you allowed the negativity of others to sway you, or have you stood firm in the truth of your divine calling? Take a moment to reflect on how external judgment has influenced your path. It's natural to want validation from others, but when walking the divine path, it is essential to realize that your worth and purpose are not determined by human approval. You were chosen for something greater than the world can understand. As you reflect on your relationships, ask yourself, how can you rise above the judgment of others? How can you embrace your divine calling with strength and confidence, knowing that God has already prepared the way for you? Your divine path is not one of comfort, it is one of purpose, passion, and transformation. Every person who has doubted you, every opinion that has tried to sway you, is part of your story. These moments are the tests that refine you, helping you grow in spiritual strength and resilience. It's time to rise above the negativity, to step boldly into your purpose, and to trust that God's plan for your life is unfolding perfectly, even when others do not understand. As we close, I want to remind you of your divine worth and the strength that comes from trusting in God's guidance. You are chosen for a purpose, and that purpose is greater than anything this world can offer. You were made for greatness, and no amount of judgment or misunderstanding can change that truth. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for the strength you have given us to walk through the storms and rise above the doubts. We trust in your divine plan, knowing that you have equipped us to fulfill our purpose. Help us to remain steadfast, to trust in your timing, and to walk boldly into the destiny you have set for us. Thank you for the confidence we find in you, for the resilience you are building in us. We release the need for validation from others and embrace your truth, knowing that we are chosen for something greater. May we continue to walk with faith, courage, and divine strength. Amen. Amen.